Welcome to Everyday English Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast.
I'm Anna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mark. We are so happy you are with us today. It's a beautiful day to learn some English, don't you think, Anna?
It is always a good day to learn English, Mark. And today we have a really interesting topic. We are going to talk about two small words that can be very confusing.
Yes, we are talking about the prepositions on and onto. On and onto.
Exactly. They look almost the same, right? Just one little word, to. But the meaning is a little different. By the end of this episode, you will feel super confident using them.
That's our goal. We want you to feel comfortable.
Okay, let's begin. Today's topic, how to use on and onto.
Anna, I have a question for our listeners. Imagine a book. Where is the book?
The book is on the table. It's resting there. No movement, just on.
Perfect. Now I'm going to pick the book up, and I move it, and I put it onto the shelf. See the difference?
Oh, I see. So on is for a position. It's staying still. But onto is for an action, for movement. You move something to a place on top.
Yes, that's the key. Onto has the idea of movement. The little word to inside onto means towards something. You move something to a surface.
That's such a good tip, Mark. So for our English learners, remember this. On equals no movement. It's a location. Onto equals movement to a location.
Location versus movement. Keep that in your mind. Let's practice with our voices. Repeat after me. The cat is on the sofa. The cat jumps onto the sofa.
Great job if you said that at home. Now, let's look at some more real-life situations. Okay, Mark, let's imagine it's morning. You just woke up. What do you do?
First, I put my feet onto the floor. Movement. My feet move through the air and land onto the floor.
I do the same. Then I walk to the kitchen. The coffee cup is on the counter. It's just sitting there. No movement. Location.
But then you want your coffee. So you pick the cup up.
Yes, I pick the cup up and I pour the hot coffee into the cup. Wait, into is for another episode. For now, I just hold it. But if I want to put it on the table, I say, I put the cup onto the table.
Let's do another one. Driving. This is a classic example. Listen to these two sentences. They sound similar, but the meaning is different. Sentence A. Louis drove his car on the sidewalk. Sentence B. Louis drove his car onto the sidewalk.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Big difference. Sentence A, with on, he is driving on the sidewalk. He is already there. That's bad. He shouldn't do that.
He's a bad driver.
Very bad. Now, sentence B, he drove onto the sidewalk. That means he started in the street and then he moved to the sidewalk. It's the movement from the street to the sidewalk. Still bad, but you see the movement.
I understand. The movement is the key. Okay, what about this? I am at a bus stop. The bus arrives.
You get onto the bus. You move from the ground up the steps and into the bus. Movement.
And when I am inside and sitting down, I am on the bus. I am just sitting there. Location.
Exactly right. You've got it.
Let's practice a fun one. Imagine a superhero.
Oh, I love superheroes.
The superhero leaps onto the building. He leaps from the ground, up, 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 and lands on the roof. Movement.
And then he stands on the building looking for danger. He's just standing there. Location.
Perfect example. See? It's all about the action. If there is movement, use onto.
Now, Anna, we have to talk about something a little tricky. Sometimes on and to are next to each other, but they are not the word onto.
Oh, what do you mean?
Sometimes on is part of the verb. For example, the phrasal verb to hold on. It means to grab something tightly. And then to is a separate word. They're just neighbors. They're not a team.
Ah, like neighbors who live next door but they have different houses.
That's a great way to think about it. For example, please hold on to my hand. The verb is hold on. The word to is separate. We are not moving something onto a surface. We are just holding.
So I can't say hold on to my hand?
Actually, you can. And this is the confusing part. In many cases, hold on to and hold on to are both okay. The meaning is almost the same. Hold on to is more common in American English, and it feels a little stronger. But for our learners, it's good to know they exist.
So it's like a free choice sometimes?
Sometimes yes, but let's look at a sentence where it's not a free choice. This is a common mistake. Listen. After we finish this episode, we will move on to the next topic.
Move on to the next topic. So in that sentence, is it on to or on to?
Great question. It is two words, on to. Why? Because move on is the verb phrase. It means to continue or change, and to is a preposition for the next thing.
So if I write it as one word, move on to the next topic.
That would sound a little strange. It might mean you physically climb on top of the next topic. Move on to is the correct choice here.
Okay, so I will write that in my notebook. Move on to for changing subjects. Jump on to for physical movement.
Perfect summary. And a great trick you can use is to try replacing the word with upon. If upon sounds okay, you probably need onto. For example, he climbed onto/upon the roof. But you can't say, I moved upon to the next chapter. That doesn't work, so it must be onto.
Okay, let's take a moment to give our listeners some really clear tips. Mark, what is mistake number 1?
Mistake number 1, using on when you mean on to. For example, saying I fell on the floor when you mean you fell from the bed. If you fell from the bed, you fell onto the floor. You moved.
Ah, that makes sense. So if you are talking about an accident, use onto for the movement.
Yes. Mistake number 2, forgetting that on is for location. Like saying the picture is hanging onto the wall. That's not right. The picture is just resting there, no movement. It's hanging on the wall.
So on for the wall, onto for putting the picture on the wall.
You're a natural, Anna.
I'm learning from the best. Okay, and our third tip?
Tip 3, remember the phrasal verbs. Look for verbs like hold on, log on, catch on. If you see one of these, the to that comes after is usually separate. For example, I logged onto my computer, not I logged onto my computer. Actually, both are becoming common, but for writing, log onto is safer.
Okay, so for safety in writing, keep them separate if it's a phrasal verb. In speaking, people might say onto anyway.
Exactly. English is flexible, but these rules help you sound clear and correct.
All right, everyone, it's time to practice. This is your moment. I'm going to say a sentence, and I want you to shout the correct word, on or onto at home. Ready?
Let's do it. Listen carefully.
Number 1, please put the milk blank the fridge shelf. Should it be on or onto?
The answer is onto, because you were moving the milk from your hand to the shelf. Good job if you got that.
Number 2, the food is already blank the table. Come and eat.
This one is on. The food is already there. It's just sitting. No movement. Location.
Number 3, we need to move blank the next exercise.
Tricky. This is the phrasal verb. It's move on to, so 2 words. But if you just think of the meaning, you know it's not physical movement onto a table, so it's not onto.
Great job, everyone. Let's quickly recap the key phrases from today. On the table, onto the table, hold on to, move on to.
Fantastic. Repeat those one more time with us. Listen and repeat. On the table. onto the table, hold on to, move on to.
Well, Mark, we did it. Another great lesson.
I know, and I feel like our listeners are now experts on and on to.
They sure are. We hope this episode helped you. Remember, learning a language takes time. Be patient with yourself. Every day you practice, you get a little better.
That's right. So our challenge for you this week, look around your house and make 3 sentences using on and 3 sentences using onto. Say them out loud.
Wonderful idea. And if you liked this episode, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. It really helps other learners find us.
Thank you so much for listening and learning with us today. We are so proud of you.
Keep practicing your English every day, even just 5 minutes.
Bye for now, everyone.
Take care and see you next time.